What is up, guys? Dakota here, and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little bit since we've done a video, but today is a good day to do it because we took delivery of a new vehicle. As you guys can tell from the title, it's a Colorado ZR2, the new one that I'm super excited about. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the truck because it is pretty awesome. All right, guys, so here it is, the new Colorado ZR2, new for 2023. It's completely redesigned, and I'm just gonna kind of take you guys through some of the major differences between this and the previous generation. There's obviously plenty of videos about, the in-depth spec tours and all that stuff. I just kind of want to mainly focus on some of the bigger changes from the previous generation Colorado ZR2 because I have quite a bit of experience with it. First things first, looking at the car, obviously, or the truck, because I know people get pissed off. You got 33-inch tires standard, whereas a previous generation had 31. So you get 2-inch larger tires. You still get the Multimatic DSSV spool valve shocks, but now they have more travel compared to the previous generation. Another big difference is the wheelbase. They pushed the front wheels further to give you a better approach angle, which again, if you guys are familiar with my channel, or just the previous Colorado ZR2, you guys will know that was a pretty big weak spot. The front end hung up a lot when you actually took the thing off-road. Whereas this one has a much better approach angle. And then obviously you got the super aggressive grille here. You got a flow tie, lots of airflow going into this thing to feed the 2.7 liter engine. So again, previous generation you could get a V6 or a 4-cylinder diesel. The only engine available for this is a 2.7 liter gas engine, which makes 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque, which is a crazy amount of torque for a little turbocharged 4-cylinder. So power-wise, this thing should be good, but we're gonna test that. As you guys know, we'll put it through its paces. As you guys can see, almost at any angle, you can see those gold Multimatic shocks, which is super awesome. One big difference compared to the old ZR2 is now, as you guys can see, these shocks have been pushed out to the wheels. That is a specific ZR2 only feature, whereas the previous one, they'd be kind of right here basically, so they'd be hanging down and could get caught up on obstacles. They fixed that. So again, a regular Colorado, this generation, not gonna have those. The ZR2 specifically gets them pushed out to the side. Now, as far as the bed goes, one of the cool things that they did was integrate this little storage feature, which, as you guys can see, can hold a Thor hammer, which I'll explain more on why we brought that out in a second. And you get an additional 4 tie-down rings. So you get standard 8 tie-down rings, which compared to the previous generation, again, is double. And you also get a nice wall outlet in the bed, which is always useful for whatever you're using it for: work, play, camping, doesn't matter. Always good to have that there. Design-wise, obviously, the biggest difference between this and the old one is this is a lot more angular, it's a lot more aggressive, a lot more chiseled than the previous gen. It's not as rounded, and it definitely looks a lot more bold, a lot more aggressive. So it sits even higher, bigger tires, better off-road angles overall. It's obviously going to be really beneficial for off-roading and things. And again, the powertrain makes way more torque, so that's going to be helpful in every situation, whether you're rock crawling or doing Baja adventures, high-speed off-roading, what have you. All right, so now let's go ahead and hop in. We'll kind of show you guys some of the interior and then talk to my cousin and see kind of how he likes it so far compared to his GR86, because obviously they are completely different vehicles. Okay, so real quick on the interior, obviously compared to the old one, you get a fully digital display, which was not an option at all on the previous generation. So it takes up the entire cluster there, gives you plenty of information. Moving over to the center screen, obviously, again, much larger, much different layout compared to the previous generation, which was just kind of surrounded by a big gray plastic box. So this one is over an 11-inch screen, so you get plenty of screen real estate. Apple CarPlay and stuff like that is super easy to use. You get a bunch of different apps you can use, your off-road controls, so you can bring that up and it'll show you your steering angle, all sorts of things. Addition compared to the previous ZR2 is you get cooled seats now, which was previously only allowed on the Denali of the previous generation. So you had to go for a GMC and get the Denali to get those. This is now an option on the ZR2. Super nice to have when you live in a super hot state, like for example Texas. Obviously, again, completely redesigned interior, so you get a lot more upscale feel. This feels a lot more put together and a lot more finished than the previous generation. Not as much of a sea of plastic. Obviously, you can still get your front and rear lockers, which used to be exclusive in the segment, but obviously now with the Gladiator and the Ranger Raptor, now having those as well. And you get your four-wheel drive mode selector here. So again, this vehicle has Baja mode. So you got your tow haul, your terrain, your Baja, which is obviously for high-speed off-roading, your normal driving around every day, and then your off-road. And then another big thing compared to the previous generation, again, I'm trying to make this compared to the previous generation because there's plenty of videos out there explaining the in-depths of this truck, is in the rear now you get rear AC vents, which the previous generation didn't have, and some of its main competitors, Ranger Raptor, doesn't have. For whatever reason, the Ranger Raptor in like the UK and Australia gets it, but for the US market, they didn't feel like doing it. So if rear AC vents are your thing, the new ZR2 is the way to go. And you now get a sunroof for the first time in a Colorado. All right, dude, what's up?
What's up, man?
All right, so like I told you guys, we're gonna kind of see his thoughts on the truck. So far you've only had it for, what, you've had it for like a couple days?
Yeah, I got it Thursday, today's Sunday, so.
Okay, so he's had it for a few days. So compared to your GR86, which is obviously a completely different car,
right?
What are some of the things that you've noticed from driving this now daily, you know, and getting a feel for it?
Well, so daily driving wise, absolutely features are killing it.
Yeah.
So coming from a very car enthusiast, affordable sports car with the GR86,
yeah,
the remote start is awesome. You know, leaving work and having my AC seats started whenever it's hot as hell outside,
yeah,
it's super nice to have. The sunroof, it just feeling like I have more light inside the car. And more space. I know a lot of people say the sunroof usually kills their space. Chevrolet did a great job on the Colorado this year because they only have the thickest part of the roof in the middle, yeah, and they made a cutout for the back seat because they understand it's a little smaller than a full-size pickup. So you don't lose any space, in my opinion. The screen, the way everything works, it's actually great. While I was waiting for the vehicle, I thought that the software might be an issue because a lot of things you do have to go into the menu.
Right.
It's right on the left of your screen, and it's super easy to access it while driving.
So there's no big of a deal as you thought.
Absolutely, yeah. Daily driving, it's much more comfortable.
Yeah, a lot more comfortable. So now, obviously, I'm sure a lot of these guys are wondering, since this is mainly an off-road channel, so we taking this thing like off-road?
Oh, of course. I mean, so we got dirt bikes.
Yep.
We're gonna use this truck for dirt bikes, 100%.
That's gonna be so nice.
If I wasn't planning on going off-road and actually doing those things, I wouldn't have gotten the ZR2, but I'm absolutely planning on doing anything now that we have this.
So like I told you guys, we're gonna take this and the old gen ZR2 and kind of compare them and see kind of how they compare on-road as well as off-road to see kind of how much of an improvement this is, and you know, kind of where the old one really falls short or where it might actually still hold up okay. So I mean, because I know we're both excited that we're finally gonna not have to tow a trailer to put the dirt bikes.
It's the worst.
So that's gonna be super awesome. Real quick, guys, as I was editing the video, I kind of realized that I had spaced out on a couple of things. So you know, haven't made a video in a while, getting back into the groove of it. But the reason for the Thor hammer is quite simply just because Austin named his truck Mjolnir after Thor's hammer because it's silver truck, whatever. So that's why I was there. We just thought it was kind of cool. I have one, so I figured we'll put it in the truck. Again, I've realized we totally spaced on that after I literally said you guys would see it, like understand why in a second. So apologize about that. Also, I should explain that I know I told you guys that like, hey, I have some mid-sized trucks coming. That is true. I wasn't talking about his. I do have my own Colorado coming in. It's just the ordering got kind of messed up with that one. So his showed up first. No idea when mine's gonna show up because obviously his was already being shipped before the strike happened. Now that the strike happened, who knows what's going to happen to mine, my Colorado ZR2 and my other mid-sized truck. I just figured I'd point that out to you guys. So yes, there will be quite a few mid-sized trucks joining the channel at some point. No idea when. With my luck, it'll probably be after the hype for all of them is all over. But hey, so that just happens. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're looking forward to some content with the ZR2 because like I said, we are planning on doing some stuff, comparing it to the old gen, just to kind of see, you know, where it's really improved in terms of, you know, towing, hauling, all that good stuff, off-roading and daily driving. So anyways, guys, I will see you in the next one. Take care.